Actually, it's not a kind of lecture. It's just share my experience with you on my startup experience. My name is Dennis. I'm the founder of Cheung, and I will tell you what Cheung is later. Actually, Cheung is my 2.5 startups. My first startup is 12 years ago in Beijing. It's a internet online. Actually, it's an online advertising agency. Then I sold it in 2007. And I come back to Hong Kong. Then I set up another company called GoYe.com. Actually, it's I co-op with a very big listed company, an entertainment company in Hong Kong called Media Asia. It's the company of Andy Lau, Sammy. And 2014, I set up Cheung. Okay. About a startup, I want to ask a question. Any one of you want to start your own company after graduate or several years later? Just raise your hand. Okay. What kind of preparation that you are doing right now for your startup? No? Okay, maybe tell me later. Okay. First of all, we have to know what is startup, and you can Google it, and you can find out a official definition in Wikipedia. But from my point of view, startup is just a process of problem solving. You have to find out the pain point, and then find the solution, which means your business model. And then throughout the whole process, you have to solve a lot of problems. Problems just pop up every second and every minute, and then you have to find out the solution. No matter how long of your FAQ, you will still face a lot of problems when the product launch. Actually this slide is quite important. I draw the line by myself, okay? Actually, just like most of the product startup has its product line. Okay. Is it better? Is it better right now? Okay. Just like most of the product startup has its own product life cycle, but luckily, at the end of the life cycle, it can boost up very quickly, or it will die down immediately. It depends on the execution and of course your luck. And I will go through every stage later. The first step is the idea generation. Most people ask me how to generate the idea. The first thing is to find out the pain point in the market. But what is the good pain point? It's very ironic. How can you use good to describe the pain point, right? But okay, what is the good pain point? The first thing is the problem is big enough. The problem is big enough. And the second, it happens quite often. So I can give you an example, just like buy a house. House is not a very good pain point because you don't buy it very often, just once in your life, but you will buy just like the chopsticks or your a bottle of water every day because you have to consume it. So the problem happens very often. And the third factor is that there's no major player in the market. But no matter how, you can do it. You have to handle the pain point, and you can solve the pain point, and then this is the good pain point. Okay, what's the good solution to solve the pain point? The first one is that you can do it with your own existing resources. You can solve it by your own resources. Or you can find out some resources to solve the problem. And it can scalable in a very short period of time, which means your company will have a pretty high valuation. Otherwise, you have to work very hard. Over 10 years, 12 years is still a very low valuation. So a good solution is that you can solve the pain point in a very short period of time, which is scalable. And again, it's very important is that you can manage it. Actually, this is my past over 16 years experience. How to find out the pain points in the market and how to find out the solution actually is pretty easy. The first thing is the observation. Observation is very important, and you can ask yourself every day, every hour, what's the problem that you are facing? ask the girl or boy next to you what's the problem that they are facing. He is facing, she is facing. And basically this is the market pain point. So observation is very important. And then reading. Read lots of books, magazines, newspapers, watch news. And then it will tell you, for example, something like happened in US, just like 10 years ago, YouTube in US. Okay, but if you, I remember that 2004, YouTube just launched in US, and then Youku and Tudou launched in China around 2005. So the time gap is 1 year. At that time, if you read the Time magazine or the Business Week, you may probably know what is YouTube, and you can just basically copy the model in China. But right now, the time lag is much shorter. It probably take a day to have such kinds of time lag. Okay. So anyway, reading is a still very important source for me to find out the pain point and also the solution. And the third thing is the thinking. After reading, after observation, you have to think. You have to come up your own solution to solve the problem, which you can manage it, or you can find out the resources to manage it. The yellow ball, actually the blue ball, that you can do it by yourself, and the yellow ball that you can do it as a group with your friends, with your schoolmates, brainstorming. In my company, I have a brainstorming session every Friday night, 7 to 8. We just buy some sparkling wine or red wine in the office, and we chill together to have a brainstorming. It's very interesting actually. And chit chat with your friends, chit chat with the professors, anyone. I love to chit chat with another startup. My company is in Science Park and also in the E-Hub Shenzhen. I love to chit chat with the entrepreneurs of different startups, the founders of different startups, because I can learn a lot from them. So chit chat can help you to identify some market pain points, and you can learn from them how to solve the pain points, which means you can have your own solution for the pain points that you find out. Okay, the second, in the graph, the second stage is the business model formulation and fine-tuning. Okay, once you have the idea, but you found the pain point, you found the solution, but this is not a business. You can still earn the money. It don't have the business model, it don't have the revenue source. You have to have your own business model. And what's the step? First of all, you have to understand, you have to know what resources that you have and what kinds of resources that you can manage. This is the first step. And the second is that the current situation versus what you need. It means, for example, the business model, you list A, B, C, D. You list A, B, C, D resources for your solution. But right now, you only got A and B. And then, can you find out the resources C and D? And how to do it, at what cost? It's very important to understand what costs that you have to get the resources C and D. And then, how to bridge the gap. Okay, I'm here and I want to be here. This is the gap. How can I bridge it? Before you find the solution to bridge it, to bridge the gap, you have to consider the direct cost and your opportunity cost. Because start a company, have your own startup. Basically, you don't need to spend a lot, but your opportunity cost will be very high. And your opportunity cost will be very high, so you have to consider your opportunity cost. And the most important thing is that don't think too much, just take action. Take action is the most important. How to do it? Make a very simple prototype. Maybe use a talk. Basically, I use this app because my company is app-based education platform. I use this app to create my own prototype. It's very quickly. I just take 2 days to draw the flow chart, and then input all the flow chart, all the diagrams into this app, and then I can create my prototype very quickly. And then I join a lot of pitching events, which is free of charge. You can go to, but I know CTU has quite a lot of pitching events. You can just join the pitching event, or basically, when I start this company, I joined the pitching event, which is organized by the co-working space. It's just free of charge, and then many people will help you to fine-tune your business model. I mean, the judges will help you to fine-tune your business model and fine-tune your revenue model, so it helps you a lot. I joined the pitching event with my very simple prototype within a week. It's so-called a lean startup, right? It helps you, if it's good, then you can further develop your prototype, make it as a real product. If it's bad enough, you have to fine-tune your business model to something that capital market recognize. For the component of business models, I think most of you can Google it internet, but this is my, I would say this is my experience, which is a little bit different from those internet. Executive summary is very important, and then most people will tell into PowerPoint, into executives, in the business plan, they will show, okay, what I'm doing right now, what is my business model, but basically I will tell them what assets I have. For the business model is quite subjective. You think it's perfect, but other people may think that it's not good enough. So don't take the risk. My practice is to tell them the assets. What assets I have? The assets must be something good, right? So I don't need to take the risk that people will ban me immediately and subjectively. After showing them the assets, then I will tell them my business concept, which is the pain point and your solution, and then how you can manage it and how you can market your business model. And the financial projection and the revenue model is very important. Quite many business model of startup, they say I'm advertising based, but I suggest that don't make everything based on advertising, because it's very difficult to get advertising dollar right now. If there is any marketing students, you may know the CPM, cost per thousand. Right now, the CPM is around 15 to 20 Hong Kong per CPM, which means you got a 1,000 traffic, you can only have 15 Hong Kong dollars, so it's very difficult to earn money. And advertising can always be one of the revenue model, but please don't make it the only one, okay? And then have a very detailed development plan and a first year execution plan in your PowerPoint, in your business plan, because you can tell people clearly that I know what I am doing and I can do it by myself or by our team. It's not just in paper. I can really execute it. Give them the confidence is very important. 5 minutes pitching, I believe you guys will have a lot of chance to join the 5 minutes pitching. It's very intense. It can make you very nervous. I joined quite a lot of 5 minutes pitching. Just from my experience, I just show them 4 things. My major assets, my business concept, tell people there is no big market player in the market, is a kind of competitive analysis, and finally tell them the revenue model, again apart from the advertising model. And I will have a chance to show you how to do a 5 minutes pitching later. Okay, execution, this is the third stage. Remember the chart, this is the third stage. Execution, the first important thing is to find a partner if you don't have a co-founder. But the first question that you ask yourself is that, do you really need a partner? Yes or no? Team is very important, but partner is not a must from my point of view. But if you think you really need a partner, for example, I'm a business side, I don't know technical, I don't know how to do coding, so I will find out a technical partner. This is 4 very important factors that I will consider. Is it trustworthy? do we have a mutual benefits? Are we share the same mission? And also, my partner is a good guy or not? This is the four main factors that I would consider my co-founder. And then the team, and you have to build up your team. Team is very important because when you really get the funding, you have to start your business ASAP to boost it up, and then have a higher valuation. So the team will help you to achieve this. So have a good team is very important. This is the attributes of your good team. They share the company value. No financial burden within 3 to 6 months, which means they can work for you for free. It's for a startup means poor. I don't have enough money to pay the market price for my employee. So I have the team that they don't have the financial burden, and they share my mission and they share my value, and they are willing to work for me for free or for a lower price than the market price. They are willing to work really hard because you have to catch up the market, especially in the internet business. You have to be very fast. Very good job allocation, and people trust each other. These are the 5 main attributes that I'm setting up my team. Fundraising. Maybe a lot of people are very keen on fundraising. So for the fundraising, from a point of view, is that raising amount that is just enough. Don't waste too much money, especially in the very early stage, because your valuation won't be very high if you raise a lot of money, which means you have to sell a lot of shares out, and you can't keep a controlling shares. It's a big problem in the future. And also in the very early stage, probably the angel investor may invest on you. Apart from money, you have to consider the network of that angel investor. You have to consider if the angel investor can find out another investor, let's say 6 months later, 2 years later, can help you on the second round fundraising. And for the last circle, I want to ask a question. Do you guys think what is the best timing for the fundraising? Okay, it's a multiple choice. When you need money, when you are rich, anytime. What's the answer? First one is when you need money, which means you're poor. And the second is when you're rich. You probably don't need to do fundraising at this moment. And the third is that I raise money anytime. Do you know what is the best timing to do fundraising? The third one? Okay. Any other answers? Okay. Actually, there's no standard answer. But from my experience, that the circle is missing. Anyway, I raise money when I'm rich, because you have more time to find out a suitable investor. And when you first approach an investor, let's say today I don't need money, but I know 6 months later I will need money. So I approach the investors today, and they will know my status right now. And then 2 months later, I will approach them again, and I will update them within these 2 months what I have done, so they know there's a progress, which means they will have more confidence on you. So basically, I raise money when I'm rich. When I don't need money, I will go out and talk to the investors. Okay, as a startup founder, what kinds of attributes that you need? I work in an advertising agency when I first graduate. I'm in the advertising agency for over 10 years, so be creative is one of the main attributes from my point of view. And also be confident. You have to be creative because just mentioned in the very beginning, there's a lot of problems that you have to solve, no matter how long of your FAQ is. So you have to be very creative to solve the problem, to solve it very cost-effectively and very quickly. And also, you have some very solid knowledge. It's the legal knowledge and the accounting and the financial knowledge. Just like for the financial projection, if you don't know how to work on the financial projection, it's a big problem, right? If you negotiate with the investor with your term sheet, but you know nothing about the valuation, you know nothing about the legal, it is also a very big problem. So legal knowledge and accounting financial knowledge is very important. Okay, a real case study. I know I just got three minutes, but I will try to finish it. Okay, this is my company, Cheung. Okay, what we are actually, we are the incubator in the Hong Kong Science Park and also in Shenzhen eHub. We have our angel investment around 10 million Hong Kong before we launched, and we won two prize in Hong Kong and in Shenzhen before we launched. And we are the first company to get the funding from Hong Kong government. From the Science Park Series F, we are the first company, and right now until now we are the only company, only IT startup to get that funding. This is our news clip. Okay, Cheung is a pan-education, I would say, is a mobile-based education company focused on the lifestyle subjects, which means we got someone, do you know Jessica C is a very famous model in Hong Kong. They teach you something that school won't teach you. For example, Jessica C teach you how to kiss. We got wine tasting lesson, coffee tasting lesson, how to do presentation, something like that. We got 40 domain celebrities to join us. All the video copyright belongs to Cheung. We got around 5,000 minutes videos right now. Okay. So actually, I just demonstrate a 5 minutes a 5 minutes pitching. I will tell you the assets that I have. You know, we got the funding from the government. We are the incubator in Science Park. Blah 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 blah. So which means people will trust you first because you got the funding from the government. It's very objective. If I tell them the business model, they will say, it's a kind of YouTube. People will just go to YouTube. Blah 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 blah. So don't give them a chance to reject your ideas subjectively at the first very beginning. Okay, and you can see how we generate this idea is based on the observation. From the newspaper, there's a lot of advertising on the different classes. For example, the wine tasting classes and the art basel classes. So, which means in the market, someone really needs to learn something, which is very lifestyle driven, right? And several famous celebrities in Hong Kong, they set up their own school in Hong Kong to teach people how to do presentation, how to play guitar, which means the domain celebrities have the need to teach someone to earn money. This is from the supply side. This is from the demand side. So the business model comes from observation. How to implement idea, how to bridge the gap. This is what I did. The celebrities, the teachers, education experience, R&D, which means our platform development, and also the funding. What I have, I know some celebrities. I got an advertising agency in Beijing, so they can work on the R&D, they can work on the production. I just got these two elements. How can I bridge the other two? How can I find out the other two resources? So I signed an agreement with those entertainment company. Then I took the pictures with those domain celebrities, which means I really have that resources. I'm not just talking. I really have that resources. Then I work on a very simple layout that I put it in the pop app, just show it before, and which means I really have the capability to work on the app, to do the production. And then I go to funding. So I go to pitch the investors and I got the funding. Once I got the funding, I co-op with the other educator. They provide the advice on us how to do an education app, how to do an education platform. This is the way that I bridge the gap. Okay. Basically, right now is the real start. Actually, right now, Cheung is in the stage of the real start. We have just launched last year, November last year, and just for 4 to 5 months right now, we got around 70,000 downloads. And so I don't know whether we will boost up very quickly or die down immediately. I work very hard to execute my idea. I hope we can boost up very quickly. Okay, if you are interested to learn how to kiss, scan it and download our app. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor.
One question before we take break. Any questions? No? I want to ask a question. What is a good guy?
What's a good guy?
Say they want to find a good guy for a team.
Very good question. Actually, it's very subjective, but from my point of view, to be very honest is very important. In my past 16 years on startup or doing business in China or in Hong Kong, I prefer to be a very honest guy. I tell people what I can do or what I cannot do, what I know and what I don't know. I tell people honestly. So, to a certain extent, honesty is very important to be a good guy.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you.
So there is tea and I think a tea break outside. Is that right? And then we will come back at 8:40. Okay, remember 8:40, and we have 3 more speakers there. Okay. Yes.